Thank you.
Chef Jai is going to help us with translation today.
Thank you. And Seydou and Moustapha are, as you know, the actors, the hero of this movie. And I want to introduce to you also Mamadou, that is the guy that for real made this journey and inspired this story. So I'm very happy that he will be here with us, because as I said before, I've done this movie with them. I try to always to listen their story from the script. Also during the shooting, all of the extra that you see in the movie behind the actors are person that really made this Odyssey. And so for me it was very important to have always with me, beside me, try to tell to you a story that was honest and true, for the respect of the people that made this journey and for the respect of the people that died on this journey. Thank you.
So I'd like to start, we'll keep going with what Matteo was saying, and we're absolutely going to come out to the audience for questions as well, so please do think about any questions you might want to have for Matteo and the film team here. But first of all, could I invite you to sit down? And everyone should have a microphone in their chairs, if we've done this correctly. But Matteo, just to continue with what you were saying and looking towards Mamadou, could you please help the audience understand the very early stages of this project for you, and what your decision-making was to say, yes, this is a project I want to pursue, and then at what stage did you start working with Mamadou about the story?
Well, I start listening the story of some of the migrants that I met in Rome or in Sicily, in different parts of Italy, and I was really surprised by their story, because as I said before, we in Italy or in Europe are used to see only the last part of the journey, only the part where the boat arrived in Italy when they succeed. And so there is, as you saw in the movie, there is all a journey, and it's a journey made that is unknown in Italy, unknown in Europe, and of course unknown also here. And so that was the first reason that pushed me to tell this story. Try to give visual form to a part of the journey that is invisible, and to give finally voice to them, because they usually don't have voice. And so I've been an intermediator. I've done this movie with them, and I've been an intermediator. I try to give my view, my experience as a filmmaker, but we made this movie always together, and they are the first audience of the movie. And so for me it was very important that finally they could have a movie where they recognize, they can, experience the feel that is true, what they have done, and finally give to the audience of all the world a vision of what they have done. Because sometimes when they try to tell to people about their experience, about their Odyssey, they are not believed. So finally, they have a movie that shows the tragedy and what they have to do. The tragedy of people, sometimes, as you saw, this movie is not talking about migrants that escape from war. We are used to think that the migrant, when they move to Africa, to the Occident, is always because escape from war or climate changing. There are a lot of young people. The 70% of the population in Africa is young, and the globalization is arrived in Europe, is arrived in Africa strong like in our country. So they have always a window on the social network, and so they can see our world. And from their point of view, our world is really full of light and full of promise. They don't see what is behind, because from their point of view, they see only the image that we project. So they are young, and they want to, as you see in the movie, they want to reach their dream. They want to move. When you are young, you have desire. You want to maybe to have a better opportunity, make money for help your family. And so the difference between them and us is that fact that they have to risk their life for move. And we can only take a plane and go in holiday in their country. But if they want to move, to come in our country, they have to risk their life. So there is a system that's injustice, as all we know. And we wanted to tell this story, this journey of a hero, because it's I think they are the real carrier of epic, contemporary epic. So they are hero of these days. So I'm very proud that we could make this movie all together. And I say thanks to Seydou and Moustapha for the incredible performance. And so I think I would like to give I'd like to also to give the possibility to say something to Mamadou, that because the word of who really made this journey are more important than my word.
Hello to everybody. Thank you for watching the movie together this afternoon. And thank you, Matteo, also. Thank you, everybody. This is my first time to be in the United States. And it's my pleasure to be in Los Angeles also. This movie that you have already watched is a reality, is a story, a real story, speaking about our culture, speaking about how we decide to live Africa. And, you know, of course, some of us, we are young. Most of the population of Africa are young. And we also have a dream. Every young person has a dream. So we decide to leave our country to get better life, because we study in the books, or we saw it in the television that Europe is a freedom country, is what we saw, what we learned from the books. And so we decided to travel, but because we don't have any opportunity to get the visa, so me and my cousin, we decided to travel crossing the big desert of Africa. And there, what we saw in the film is the reality. We have seen people dying in front of us. Ladies, women, children that has been frightened, suffering in the desert. We spent there about 1 month before crossing the desert to arrive in Libya. And there you can see human being died. You cannot help him. As in the movie, you saw Seydou, the captain, was trying to save the woman. This is the reality that I passed through. And even today, wherever I watched the movie, I saw it, I remember I couldn't save a human being in front of me that is dying in the desert. So for us, and that's not only that, even in the Libya is another type of difficulty that we face, that we have been sold like a slave. For me, I remember that some centuries ago, they said that the slavery has been abolished in America first, and then in Europe and other countries. But in Libya, I have been sold like a slave, and I worked there for several years. You saw in the movie how we have been treated like animals. So this is a reality, and I think also Matteo, when he asked me to narrate this story, I did not hide nothing because I saw it that it is important. Most of the African people, most of the time we saw that only 10,000 people arrived in Europe. During the desert traveling, there are about 20,000 can die in the desert, and nobody can save them. Why, till today, we are suffering? Are crossing from one continent to another continent. Today, surely, I'm in United States, that is another continent. So for us, it's important to share this, our tragedy, because it's a tragedy. It's a journey of tragedy, seeing children and women dying in front of you and we cannot do nothing. Even in the prison of Libya, we have been treated like animals and you can see people dying in front of you. I have been sold like a slave some years ago. So this is, for me, something unacceptable. In 21 centuries, now today, we are talking about slavery matter again in some places like Libya, in Tunisia, the same Africa. So for us, it was important to share and broadcast this information to the all over the world. So if you are here in the United States today, it's a way of traveling with this, what we saw, the suffering, the injustice that we are facing in Africa. So for us, this is a piece of our real story that from another continent, we send it to this continent. And we know that 30 years ago, the European people also, they travel across the sea to come to America to have better life. So we think that we have to have the same opportunity, getting visa, and we are talking to the whole world that this is a freedom to human being to be able to have a better life wherever he's staying, wherever he wants to get better life. So for us, this movie is speaking about not Europe, but to give human rights to every single person in the world. So thank you for your attention.
Mamadou, thank you for that, for all of that, for sharing that, for being our guest today and sharing your story with us and your collaboration with Matteo here. There needs to be another question. We need to keep going, and we haven't recognized our incredible actors here. So Seydou and Moustapha, I want to pause for a moment just to say, Matteo, everyone in the ensemble, there's so many memorable moments, different characters we meet throughout the course of the movie, but the absolute vital casting of your two leads here, can you tell us how you figured that out?
Well, I've been lucky to find Seydou and Moustapha that really give an interpretation so pure, so intense, that I think goes straight to the heart of the audience. And so I found them in making casting in Senegal. Moustapha was studying in theater, acting in theater, and Seydou, it comes from a family of actors. The mother and the sister are actresses. So he loves acting, but he loves more play soccer. So his dream is to become a player of soccer. So they made a test, and then they meet each other, and from the moment that they meet each other, they become like a brother, like in the movie. They stayed always together, and also they made also the songs that you heard in the ending title are songs made by Seydou and Moustapha. So what I can say, just the last things that when I shoot the movie, I decide to don't give the script to them because they never went out from Senegal, and so they had the same desire of the character to discover the world, to come in Europe, Moustapha to come in the States. So I wanted to keep always this tension from them. I shoot in chronologic way, so I want that they didn't know till then if they succeed or not to arrive, like the character, you know. So it's a sort of marriage between the person and the character. So they lived step by step, hoping to succeed, but without being sure to do it. For me, it was really difficult to shoot this movie because I direct in a language that was completely, I didn't understand anything of Wolof. So I trust. But it's a movie where we trust each other. So we trust, and after I ask to the person that make the traductions if they said something close to the script, and she said yes, it's more or less. So we work in this way, and I couldn't imagine that the performance of them could arrive at such high level, and so I've been. It was a gift that they made to me, but all the African actors made to me and to all of us. Thanks, and that's the moment I would like to hear. You have a question?
Yes, Seydou, what I wanted to ask you was to follow on from what Matteo was saying, and Moustapha as well. What will stay with you, both from the work you did on the film shoot, but also seeing the finished film now? What's staying with you from that experience?
D'abord, je vous salue.
I'll say hello to everybody here. Thank you for coming.
Ça me fait plaisir de jouer le film.
I'm very happy that I've been chosen to do this movie.
Et aussi, c'est la première fois que je fais un film.
And this is my first movie.
Et j'ai eu une expérience pour vraiment. Et j'ai eu une expérience pour vraiment.
I got a very, very amazing experience from this movie.
Parce que man, sama rêve footballeur la woon.
Because my dream was to be a soccer player.
Mais l'homme propose, mais Dieu dispose.
But man can imagine something, but God is the one who makes things happen.
Et aussi, thank you. Et aussi, film bi genre jàngal na ma lu bari, xamal na ma lu bari aussi lu ma xamul woon.
And this movie really taught me a lot of things that I didn't know.
Et aussi bañ demee Maroc gis naa ñoo xamante ni ñoom ñoo def réellement le voyage.
And when I went to Morocco, I saw people who really did the journey.
Et aussi, ça m'a vraiment choqué. Et ñoom tax na genre bañ demee Maroc ba ma gën a dugg ci biir personnage.
And when I saw that, I was really shocked. And when I went to Morocco, that really made me want to do this even more.
Ak aussi Matteo genre façon bu muy liggéey ak ñun permettre nañu ba ñu mën a dugg ci biir personnage bi façon bu muy liggéey.
And thank you, Matteo, for really helping us absorb the personage, like the characters of the movie.
Parce que dañ daan ñëw genre tournage duñu xam lu ñu war a tourner directement ci biir ci plateau bi la ñuy wax exactement la ñu jouer lii ak lii.
And when we would be in the studio, and that's when he will tell us what to do, like at the very last minute.
moo tax mu naturel.
And that's why it's so natural.
Grâce à film bi tax na su ma amee possibilité continuer cinéma inshallah dinaa ko def.
And thanks to this movie, if I have the opportunity, I will continue in the movie field.
Thank you.
So I'm greeting you at first, listen about you. And then the American dreams, that was my dreams to come here. So a dream has come true. So I learned a lot of things during this shoot. Because we may notice nowadays that African people, Asian people, and the other people coming all around the world are having the same target, which is to come here in United States of America or Europe. So as to find a better job, better living condition, so forth. And in fact, this film is not only a documentary, but it is also the transcription of the real living. And there are a lot of people who have lived it, and they are on the film. So we, the new generation, we need to know this kind of stories, because this kind of stories, it may change your point of view in this life, because we, the new generation, focus only on social media. So it is not life, social media. It is not about life. I mean, you will fail at some point in your life. And whenever the people get you down, you must get up and don't stop. And how? The question is how? About your, how can I say, a motivation speech, about your way to give, I mean, the believing in yourself, about stories. Yes, about stories. So we need stories. Like this kind of stories make us, I mean, the new generation to have a, I mean, better vision in this life. So we really need this kind of stories. So me, Moustapha Fall, and Senegalese people, I don't regret having participated in this film. And if I had to do it again, I will do it, no, without any hesitation. And to be short, I'm not going to finish without giving thanks to Matteo Garrone, because he gives me the opportunity and he gives me the courage to measuring up to this movie. So thank you so much, Matteo Garrone, and thank you so much for both of all. Thank you so much for top story. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you both, Seydou and Moustapha. We still have a little bit of time to work with. Very little time. Okay. I'm being told we have practically no time. I think we can agree, hearing from the film team here was just a wonderful experience on top of seeing this fantastic film today. So I'm getting very clear direction. It is time to wrap up. So thank you all for being with us. Matteo will have the final word.
I would like to thank also the producer of the Racinema, Paolo Il Brocchio, and Ardaman from Patel for helping me to live. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And once again, Matteo Garrone, the wonderful film team of Il Capitano.
Thank you.